were sent here for a reason. And even if it takes the rest of your life, you owe it to yourself to find out what that reason is.
Hello everyone and welcome to another video by Centipede Geek. Today I'm going to discuss my thoughts and opinions upon the film titled Man of Steel. And without any further ado, let's get to it, shall we? As I'm sure most of you and all of you already know that Man of Steel is the reboot of the famous Superman character originally coming from the comics. We have seen Superman come to the screen many times, originally back in the year of 1978 with the film titled Superman starring famous actor Christopher Reeve. Personally, I love the old Superman film. I think it's very fun, entertaining, and overall, I think Christopher Reeve plays a great Superman originally back in his day. Then we had Superman 2 in the year of 1980. Once again, Christopher Reeve reprises his role as the famous Superman character. I don't like it as much as the first one, but I do still love the film in its entirety, and overall, it's just a fun film. Then we had Superman 3 in the year of 1983. Once again, Christopher Reeve comes back, and I love that film also. The only film I have not seen out of the original four Superman films from the 70s and 80s is Superman 4, The Quest for Peace, in the year of 1987. I have not seen that one. Like I said, once again, Christopher Reeve comes back to play the famous Superman character. I have not seen that one, so I don't know too much about it. Therefore, I can't state my opinions on it. But I have seen the first, the Superman, the second one, and also the third one. And overall, first three films, I love all three of them, and they're all great. My favorite out of the three would still have to probably be the first one, because it was my introduction to the franchise of the older Superman films. Then we had Superman Returns in the year of 06 with Brandon Routh starring as Superman, and then Kevin Spacey playing our villain of the famous Lex Luthor of the Superman franchise character. And I haven't seen Superman Returns in the year of 06, so I can't state really anything about it. So I'm not going to be comparing Man of Steel to Superman Returns, though I might do a little bit of comparing from the older films to the newer films. I might do a little bit of comparing with those, but right now I'm only going to talk about Man of Steel comparing to the older films. I'm not going to talk about Superman Returns since I haven't seen it. We have even had Superman adaptations to the television screen. I'm a big fan of the Smallville show. I have seasons 1 and 2. I've seen all of season 1, and then I have only seen half of season 2, so I'm not too far along into Smallville. I've only seen all the way into half of season 2, like I said, and so far I'm really enjoying it. So I might talk about some similarities and differences between Smallville and Man of Steel. But for right now, let's talk about Man of Steel. So Man of Steel is directed by none other than Zack Snyder, and Zack Snyder is mainly known for directing films such as he did Dawn of the Dead back in 04, 300 in 06, he did Watchmen in 09, Legend of the Guardians, The Owls of Ga'Hoole in 010, he did Sucker Punch in 011, and now his most recent film today is Man of Steel in the year of 2013. Man of Steel stars actors and actresses such as Henry Cavill, Amy Adams, Michael Shannon, Russell Crowe, and Kevin Costner, and Lawrence Fishburne. And pretty much the main plot of Man of Steel, it's pretty much an origin or a backstory to the famous Superman character. Superman Returns was kind of, from what I haven't seen it, but from what I understand, the last time we saw Superman on the big screen, it was more of a sequel to the original films, of Superman coming back to Earth after, whatever happened in the film. I haven't seen it, so I can't say. But anyways, that was more of a sequel. Well, Man of Steel is more of a backstory or an origin to the famous Superman character. Pretty much what the main plot of Man of Steel is, we have our Superman character as a baby. He is sent to Earth, and if you're familiar with the comics, because of what happened to his planet, he is sent to Earth, and now he has been taken in, or adopted, I guess you could say, by an Earth family, and they take care of him. They try to bring him up in the Earth world. Of course, they can't tell anyone who Superman is, because if they find out, they might want to use Superman for bad things, and that wouldn't be good for either his family or originally, our Superman character. So this, family has adopted him. He's trying to find his footing in life. He doesn't know if he should be Superman. He doesn't know if he shouldn't be Superman. He doesn't know what his place is in life. And then Michael Shannon plays our character, the famous villain General Zod. And General Zod, ends up getting introduced into the movie, and he wants to come down and pretty much kill Superman for reasons I won't say, that way this film won't be spoiled. But pretty much, it's an origin backstory of the famous Superman character. And if you're familiar with the comics, then you're familiar with, the movie. That's pretty much the main plot of the 2013 film directed by Zack Snyder by the name of Man of Steel. Overall, my thoughts and opinions on Man of Steel: man, was this an amazing and a phenomenal blockbuster film. I loved this movie. Not only is this a superhero action film, but it has a great story to it also. Let's talk about some of the actors that star in Superman. Like I said, we had Christopher Reeve originally playing Superman. We had Tom Welling in the Smallville franchise. Then we had Brandon Routh in Superman Returns, and now we have Henry Cavill to grace the Man of Steel screen. So we have many people playing, Superman. Well, how does Henry Cavill stack up to everyone else who has already played the Superman character? Overall, I loved Henry Cavill's performance. He played, because the way I'm going to get major spoilers just so you guys know. So if you haven't seen the movie, you might want to go ahead and click pause. Otherwise, keep watching. So what Henry Cavill does is he plays our character in a very, I guess you could say, an alien way, where what they did was they really played the alien concept, where, he really is not from Earth, because in this story of Superman, kryptonite is not his weakness. There is no weakness, to him. Superman doesn't really have a weakness. His weakness is he can't function out. He's a human, so he can't function outside of Earth. So there's a scene when him and Michael Shannon's character, General Zod, they go up outside of Earth, and he no longer really has his powers because he has adapted to Earth's environment. And it's the same way with Michael Shannon's character. He has adapted to outside of Earth's environment. So when he comes to Earth's habitat, Michael Shannon's character playing General Zod, Zod also has to kind of, adjust to Earth's, environment, as, Henry Cavill's character Superman had to adjust to, outside of Earth, outer space, and alien planets and that sort of thing. So Henry Cavill plays it in sort of an alien role, where you really get to see him play almost an alien figure, because, an alien is, something that exists out of Earth. So to us, Superman is an alien. And I really like Henry Cavill's performance. He doesn't talk, honestly, for about the first 40, minutes of the film, but I didn't mind that at all. Plays it in a very silent role, and then once Superman does speak, he does it with such honor and dignity that I really liked Henry Cavill's performance. And overall, he plays a great Superman character, and I liked Henry Cavill. I liked how he played it off as an alien. He had some memorable quotes. He played it in a sympathetic way where you were able to feel for the character, especially towards the end. Major spoilers coming up. The most sympathetic scene in this entire movie probably is when he ends up having, like I said, major spoilers coming up, is when he ends up having to crack Zod's neck at the very end of the movie. He screams no, and he yells that no dialogue line,